Today, we are coin roll hunting, coin table style. I bought this batch of 1965 through 1970 special mint sets. We're gonna open the mint sets another time. If you like this type of content, if you're interested at all in what we've got in these sealed mint sets, make sure you subscribe. That video will come out soon. For now, we are just gonna focus on these 1965 through 1967 SMS sets. I'm gonna break it down, tell you exactly what I paid, and at the end of this video, I'm going to take out anything good that we find. I see a really frosty quarter here. So I expect that there might be some good stuff in here, and I'll take it out, break it out, show you under light, and give you very approximate estimates on what I think it's going to sell for, factor in the grading fees, and basically be able to say, essentially, hey, paid just over $600 for this deal. I expect to sell it for X amount of dollars. We have 17 1965 SMS sets. I paid $11 each for those. We have 12 1967 SMS sets, and I paid $10 a piece for those. And then we have 30 1966 SMS dollars. I paid $10 a piece for those. So for everything that you see sitting right here in front of you, I paid $607 for. We're gonna get started with the 1965 SMS sets. Again, we have 17 of these. Let's take a look. So what I'm noticing on these, what I always look at and notice is I want to kind of get an idea as to how clean the coins are. I look at the cent. Copper is always a good indication of how clean the coins are. The $50 here doesn't look like it has any spots, doesn't look like it has any contrast either. So I'll take super clean SMS sets, or at least $50 that are super clean any day of the week, guys. Especially doing with them what I do now. On this one here, what I noticed, no contrast here, but the dime, this dime certainly has contrast. So I'll take a look at it under light, and if it's worth doing, I'll cut it out and we'll look at it at the end of this video if I think it has a shot at cameo. Nothing too crazy here. No contrast on the half. That's primarily what I'm looking at, but clean coins, so that's always nice. Same thing, no contrast on the half. On 1965 SMS sets, there is a variety. On the $50, it's a double-dyed reverse variety. I don't think it's worth spending any money getting attributed unless you find one in super high grade, but it is worth being aware of. That dime super frosty obverse. Might even have a frosty reverse too. Again, I'll check that. And at the end of this video, if it's worth cutting out of the cello, I'll cut it out and we'll take a look at it under light. So very clean $50 here, guys. Nothing super cameo that I've found or noticed yet. Just clean halves. So I will cut every single one of these $50 out of the cello and send it off to the graders in my next bulk batch. This one here looks like it, no. I was gonna say it looks like it has contrast, which it does have contrast, but it's not gonna be enough for cameo designation, so that's okay. Now that one there, guys, woo, that looks like it could be a banger. Too bad it doesn't have anything on the, look at that. Holy cow, that's what we look for, guys. That's what we're looking for when we are coin roll hunting, coin table style. That's just got great, absolute stunning contrast. So that's definitely gonna be one that we're gonna look at the end of this video. I definitely wanna get eyes on that under light so I can see what's going on there. Looks like it's got a little contrast on the half here. Definitely has contrast, definitely gonna be worth cutting out. That's another one we'll take a look at the end of the video, under light. I don't know what they're selling for now, but last time I checked the market on a 1965 SMS Kennedy in 67 cameo, they were selling for like $250 to $300. Again, that's for one that's graded 67 cameo. So I'll check the market on those, but if I find a cameo that's going to be a nice grade, that's kind of where I'll expect it to be, is about $250, maybe $300 once graded. So gotta factor in those grading fees. This dime looks like it could very potentially be cameo also. So we'll take a look at those. Moving on to the 1966 SMS sets, guys. Look at that frost, guys. Look at that frost. Doesn't look like it quite has it on the reverse, but it's definitely one we're going to want to take a look at after. So we'll do that. Another frosty quarter. Not nearly as frosty as the one we just looked at, but very nice nonetheless. Get these out of the background here so that the camera can focus easier. Oh, wow, what do we got here? Looks like a cameo slash oh, that's a good one, guys. That one, we're gonna look at that under light at the end of this video. That could very likely be a deep cameo though. I'm gonna grab my loop. I want to show you guys that again. That's a really, really clean coin. There's some haze and some stuff in the fields there that'll clean up real nice once we get it out of this set, once we get it out of this holder and get it conserved. So there's another great one that we're going to look at under light. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the first three that we looked at to check for any double-dyed obverse on the Kennedys. That's something that I always look for on these Kennedys, is the doubled profile. So hopefully we'll find one of those, and if we do, I'll show you what it looks like. I also look for the no FG, and yeah, I would love to find one of those also. So if we do, I'll show you. It's been a while since I found one though. Look at that quarter. That's another super frosty quarter. Looks like it has a little bit on the reverse, but mainly the obverse. Very, very frosty. So, so can somebody tell me, does anyone know anything about the 1965, or excuse me, does anyone know anything about the 1966 SMS dime? There is a variety of the dime. I've heard rumors that it's going to be on the cover of the next Cherry Picker's Guide. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe the Cherry Picker Guides come out, I just don't know. But there's supposedly, well, I know for sure there is what looks like a 5 punched on the cheek of the 1966 SMS dime. I've got a handful of these dimes, and so I know that it does look like the 5. I'm super skeptical. I don't know that it's an actual 5 from the 1965 SMS dime. I just personally don't see how that 5 would end up on the cheek of the dime, but I do have a few of them, and it does look like a 5. So I know it exists, but if anyone knows anything about that, please tell me in the comments. I would like to know if you, just tell me what you know about that variety. Okay, here's another cameo. This is a really, really nice $50. Super good contrast and just looks clean also. That nickel's got some contrast. Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say that nickel's very likely a cameo nickel. Oh man, that's another great $50. At least cameo, at least. Oh, boom, baby. Look at this. These are money coins, guys. Super, super good coins. You know, the double-dyed obverse, I did mention to you the double-dyed obverse. Those are great coins. But what I can tell you is when you get like a 68 or a 67 or 68 cameo, or even a deep cameo, I think I've made one in deep cameo, those are money coins. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this variety that we're looking at here. Oh yeah, that's gonna work out great, I think. Or at least I hope. Okay, there we go. There we go. Do you see that doubling by the chin there? This is a super good coin, guys. I'm super stoked about this coin. It looks to be at least cameo, and it's a double-dyed obverse, the doubled profile. So we're gonna break that thing out of there and look at it under light at the end of this video and kind of get a tally on as to what we think we're gonna be able to get for these sets. Here's a cameo dime. So this is just turning out to be a phenomenal batch, you guys. That $50's got some spotting on it, but that's okay, because on the ones like that aren't, you know, a super cameo or a deep cameo, I'll just put them back in the box and sell them, guys. There are a ton of coin dealers out there who think this is crap or junk, they don't want it, but there's a ton of them out there who do want it. There's a ton of dealers out there who want this type of stuff, and I mean, they want exactly this type of stuff to sell over the counter at their coin shops. So, ooh, yeah, wow, bang, baby, bang. Look at that freaking $50. That's probably a deep cameo. Yeah, in fact, I would guarantee that's a deep cameo. Wow, super clean. This is turning out to be a phenomenal batch, guys. I'm very excited about this batch of coins. I think it's gonna be a really good money batch. So, super stoked. I wonder what we're gonna find in the 1967 SMSs. Oh my gosh, there's another cameo, at least cameo. Holy cow. Look at this coin, you guys. Could very likely be a deep cameo. Just a phenomenal batch. Now, I think I've explained in my videos before, but at this point, you guys, I don't have time to sit and look through all the coins that I'm buying, and so essentially what I'm doing is I'm just buying the coins as they come. In other words, a dealer got a hold of me and said, hey, you still interested in SMSs and Kennedys and stuff like that? I say, yeah, I am. And they just basically put this box together and ship it to me, and then I mail them a check. And so I'm buying all this stuff sight unseen. You guys, I don't know if you noticed at the very beginning of this video, but the boxes to these SMS sets were all opened. All the boxes were open, and so I kind of assumed that like that dealer must have really quick went through them before he shipped them off to me, but that appears to not be the case here. There's another double die. Holy cow. Check it out. Look at the doubling right there under the chin. That's known as the doubled die obverse, the doubled profile, and they're money coins, guys. We're going to look at it better under light. So that's the second double-dyed obverse that we have found. I think there's probably 5 that are cameo. So just a super good batch of coins. As I was saying there when I got distracted is basically that I'm buying these coins sight unseen. I look at them and then I sell the ones that I don't want to do anything with. Guys, this is coin roll hunting, COiNTABLE style. Do you coin roll hunt? If you do, you're going to the bank, you're buying boxes of $50, and then you're searching through them, and what do you do with all those $50 after you look through them and take the silvers? Well, you go back to the bank and cash them in, right? That's exactly what we're doing here, except I'm buying inexpensive sets, looking through all of them, and then selling the ones that don't have anything that I consider special in them. So it's coin roll hunting, COiNTABLE style. Coin roll hunting is one of my favorite hobbies. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to do it anymore, and quite frankly, I get a much better rush doing this. So I would rather coin roll hunt this way, but I do agree that coin roll hunting is a great hobby. That's almost the no FG. You can see the remnants of the FG in there. So again, we have found 2 doubled profiles on these Kennedy halves. One of them is cameo or possibly even deep cameo. So I expect that that'll be a money coin. And again, we will look at it at the very end here. Along with anything else that might be fascinating or worth looking at. Here's another one from the same die as that early. It's basically the same die that made the no FGs. You can see remnants of the F and G. So it won't get the designation, but the later die states are the ones where those no FGs came from. All right, guys, moving on. We are going to look at the, I think it was 15, 5, 8, no, 12. We're going to look at the 12 1967 SMS sets. And right out of the gate, we've got a cameo nickel. Just a beautiful, beautiful cameo nickel. Awesome. What a great batch. Sometimes I'm surprised that you can still buy sets like this sight unseen and find that great of material. I expect to see a day where that's no longer possible, and that's going to be a really sad day. That $50 looks cameo once I clean the haze up and get it conserved. Definitely a cameo quarter, possibly even deep. Oh yeah, that's probably going to be deep cameo. I'm very excited to look at this under light because, you guys, if that's a deep cameo quarter, I think I've made like 2 SMS quarters in deep cameo in the past 10 years. And I've probably made 15 or 20 deep cameo $50, just to give you an idea. You don't find deep cameo fractionals hardly ever. So I'm super excited about this quarter. This is turning out to be a phenomenal, phenomenal batch, baby. Boom, baby. All right. Another cameo nickel. Beautiful. It's got some funky coloration on the cent, so that's cool. Another cameo nickel. Now on 1967 SMS sets, guys, you're going to want to look for a quadrupled die obverse on the $50. So I'll look at the $50 with my loop. There's a QDO, quadruple dyed obverse. And then the quarter of the 1967 halves has one of the coolest double dyed obverse on any modern coin that I've personally seen or that I'm aware of. It's got a double dyed obverse, and you can tell In God We Trust is super doubled. And then there's also a double dyed reverse where it's very, very, very subtle. To be quite honest, I don't even know how it made it into the cherry picker. I don't even know how it got its own FS number for, you know, a cherry picker or excuse me, for a variety, but it did. And I've seen absolute crazy, crazy prices on those things. We'll do a video on it here in the future, but I saw a 1967 SMS quarter with a double dyed obverse. It was graded 67 cameo. Guys, that's $100, maybe $125 coin, but in that grade, 67 cameo. But because it was the double dyed obverse, actually no, this was the double dyed reverse. You can hardly even see it, and you need a loop at that. And even when you have a loop and you're looking for it, you have to know exactly what to look for, or else you'll miss it. You won't even know anything's happening. It's so subtle. That coin sold at great collections for like $10,000 or $12,000. Absolute ridiculous. It wasn't mine. I did meet the guy who did make that, but I'm not the guy, unfortunately. All right, guys, we have 4 more sets to look at. The camera just went off automatically. I don't know what the deal was on that, but we're back. Hopefully it didn't screw anything up too bad. That's another cameo nickel. All right, guys, what I'm going to do now is turn the camera off. I'm going to quickly go through and look for any and all of the varieties that I just mentioned. So again, on 1965, I'm only checking the $50. I'm looking at the double dyed or looking for the double dyed reverse. On the 1966 sets, I'm looking for any double dyed obverse. On the $50, I'm looking for the no FG, which I already looked for that on these and didn't find any. And then on the dime, I'm looking for the 5 on the cheek, just for fun. I don't know that that coin's ever going to be worth anything, but in case it is, I'll look for them. And then on the 1967, you've got a QDO, so quadruple dyed obverse on the $50. The quarter, you're going to want to look for a double dyed reverse and a double dyed obverse, and that's basically it on that. All right, so out of those, I don't know, 60 sets or whatever it was, we're going to cut open one 1965 SMS set. It's got a super, super frosty obverse. That's a funky looking coin. I'm not sure the deal with that. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1966 SMS sets. These are, well, 2 of them are double dyed obverse or doubled profile. 1 out of those 2 is super frosty. I expect it to be at least a cameo, possible deep cam or ultra cam, because I'm going to send those to NGC to be graded. And then on one of the 1966 SMS sets, we're going to take out the quarter. The quarter is just super, super frosty. And then on the 1967 SMS sets, we've got 1 with a cameo nickel, and then 1 with a cameo half and a cameo quarter. This coin's very funky. I think I recall seeing something like this in the past, but but I'm not sure. It almost looks as if that entire obverse was painted on. So I don't know what's going to happen after conservation, but it's super cool. It's got a deep cameo obverse. I think it's going to grade 67 star. So at the end of the day, it's maybe a $50 coin, you know, maybe. Nothing too special, but we'll get it conserved and see how it looks. Now we're moving on to the 1966 SMS sets. We're going to do the double dyed obverse first. And this is the first doubled die obverse. Super, super clean coin. I could easily see this grading 67. So let's see if I can show you all. You guys see the chin area there? And then the lips and the nose. That's what the doubled profile looks like. And I think this will grade 67, as I just said. So I think this might be a $150 coin, 130. Now this is the one that I thought was cameo. It's definitely got a good shot at cameo, but it's all going to depend on how well these mirrors clean up. It's one of those coins that looks a lot less cameo under light than it does when it's not under light, but it's got a much better, much heavier doubling. Look at that under the chin there, in front of the lips, to the left of the nose and eye, some doubling on the ear that I can see. I mean, that's just a really good doubled die. So I'm super excited about this coin here. It's clean. But I don't think, I think it'll grade 7. So if any of them are going to grade deep cameo, it's going to be this one. And I think it's kind of, I don't know, I think there's maybe a 40% shot that they call it an ultra cam. But if they do, you know, a 67 deep cameo, those are selling for, I don't know, it was $2,200 or like $1,800 when I first got into the business. I think they're down to like $700 or $800 now for a 67 deep cam, but that's still a good profit for a coin that I spent $10 to buy the whole set. So here's a set with a cameo half. It's got a frosty dime too, but we ain't worried about the dime. Don't have time to mess with that kind of stuff right now. Clean coin, I think it'll grade 67 cameo. $100 coin, last time I checked. Maybe 75, no, actually about 125 last time I checked. Depends on how well this stuff cleans off, all that stuff on the cheek once I conserve it. If that comes off, I could see this coin grading, I could see a 67 cameo, so another $100 coin there. This is the one with the quarter. Super frosty quarter. And that's just a really cool coin, guys. Very rarely do I find these fractionals with cameo or deep cameo frost. And I think this is a cameo. I would have to check the market on it. I don't have it memorized off the top of my head, but I could see a coin like that selling for, I don't know, 50 or 75 bucks once graded. Here's another coin that, depending on how well it cleans up, it's got a little discoloration over there between the L and the I on the neck and below the neck. So I would imagine that stuff will dip right off, and if it does, then I could call this coin a 67 cameo, another $100 coin. All right, let's take a look at this 1967 SMS quarter. That half's really nice too. I think that half could grade 67 cameo. Depends on what it'll look like once it's conserved. But if it's, you know, 67 cameo, they sell for like 75 bucks last time I checked. This coin here, super solid. Just a really nice coin. It probably doesn't look deep cameo in this light, in this environment, but I'll tell you this much. It's the kind of coin that could definitely grade ultra cameo because they just don't come much better than that. You're just not going to find them much better than that, guys. This is a quarter. It's a 1967 quarter, so it's made of copper. Well, the core of it's copper, and then they coat it with zinc or plate it with zinc. So it's a super hard metal compared to silver, and they just did not get that many deep cameo fractionals for that reason. All right, guys, here's another one. Perfect example of very, very hard metals. This is nickel. It's the hardest metal that we're dealing with here. And you're looking at a 1967 SMS nickel that is a very, very good candidate for deep cam, but it is special. It's definitely cameo. No questions asked cameo, possible deep cameo. So let's just call it a $50 coin for now. Okay, guys, excuse my chicken scratch handwriting, but we're going to go through this really quick. This is just an estimate. Now, I paid $607 for that deal. I could turn around and sell the entire deal right now for $607. Just sell it as is. So whatever we make on these coins here, that's just going to be a bonus. That's just going to be extra. It's going to be cream, because whatever we don't cannibalize and send off to grade, we're just going to put it back in the set and sell it. Okay? So on the 66 half dollars, we found the 2 double-dyed obverses. I went ahead and factored those to be about $100 a piece. That's obviously including grading fees and eBay fees. So that's pretty much a safe amount that I'm going to net. If one of those coins, if the one that's cameo actually grades cameo, it'll turn that 200 into 400 or 500. So this is just a safe estimate. Now, we've got 3 cameos in addition to that. I just figured, hey, if they grade 67 cameo, that's $100 each. And that'll give us $300 there. One could grade a 66 cameo, one could grade a 68 cameo. So again, this is kind of a net number just to give you an idea. There's one in there that I'm very confident will grade deep cam or ultra cam. So we factored that at $750. And then there's the quarter that I factored at $50. On the 67s, there's one cameo, put that at $50. There's a cameo nickel and a cameo quarter. We put those each at $50. Again, that's factoring in the eBay fees and the grading fees. So let's go ahead and add that up right now. So that's $1,500 right there, guys. And that is just an estimate. I'll do a follow-up video once they all come back from grading. That's just an estimate, but it is very safe to say that we will make at least $1,500 on this deal. Thanks so much for watching COiNTABLE. Tell me in the comments what you think about this deal, and we will see y'all next time.